We invite you to rise as you are able as Priya George sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Priya, we thank you for sharing your art of integrating our minds and hearts. Students, family members, friends, faculty, and staff, and distinguished guests, welcome to the University of Minnesota School of Nursing 2019 Spring Commencement Ceremony. We also recognize deeply our faculty, including emeriti and ad honorem faculty, many of whom are with us today. To the faculty, we share and commend your commitment to excellence. Your creativity, your intellect, and your dedication to our students is awesome. Please join me in expressing our gratitude for the School of Nursing faculty. We're also honored to celebrate the family and friends who share this special day in this magnificent auditorium, and we also welcome those who are joining us via live stream. We all know that accomplishments such as those that we recognize today aren't possible without the selfless contributions of parents, spouses, partners, children, friends, mentors, tutors, scholarship donors, classmates. That support that goes to these individuals, some of whom are no longer with us, have provided our graduates during their studies and moved them toward critical success. Graduates, please join in thanking these special persons. Today, we award degrees and certificates that recognize the tireless efforts of our students. They recognize scholarly achievements, and they recognize exceptional practice. This ceremony honors students who have earned the Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree, postgraduate and post-baccalaureate certificates, Doctor of Nursing Practice degree, and the Ph.D. in nursing degree, all from the University of Minnesota. First of all, congratulations to you. To our BSN graduates from both the Rochester and the Twin City campuses, this is a major milestone in your life and career. You're prepared to enter nursing profession and welcome the multitude of career paths it offers. The nursing profession welcomes you. And to those of you who are earning the Doctorate of Nursing Practice degree, again, congratulations to you. You have attained the highest level practice degree for nurses, and you are now poised to lead, deliver, and teach innovation, evidence-informed practice, and share your creativity. You will each be a leader in the redesign of healthcare, and we celebrate you. To those of you earning a post-baccalaureate or a postgraduate certificate, your commitment to lifelong learning and the skills needed to meet the needs of a constantly changing healthcare environment is fully lauded. You too are exemplars of the educated spirit of the nurse. And to our PhD graduates, today is the culmination of a rigorous academic pursuit. You leave us to embark on a career of nursing research, of scholarly advancement, to advance in health systems improvement. You can have unprecedented impact. You are our next faculty, our next deans. You have the potential to solve the pressing issues facing us today, as well as those that we haven't even imagined. So graduates, today you become the newest members of our alumni community. That includes more than 13,000 graduates who have come before you. Our School of Nursing alumni are leading and shaping the nursing profession. They do this here in Minnesota, they do it around the world. And yet they remain always deeply connected to this campus and to each other. One of the many things I love about our school is how willing our alumni are to help our current students and our newest alumni. You have a whole family out there that is poised to provide counsel, serve as preceptors, give their time and other resources to ensure that the next generation of nurses from this University of Minnesota have even greater opportunities. They are there to open doors for you. They have been committed to our tradition of paying it forward and of being leaders. And we have a long and storied history of leadership in nursing. 110 years ago, on this very campus, the future of nursing education and the vision of the profession of nursing were forever changed. It was 1909. Dr. Richard Olding Beard, chair of the physiology program, led the first successful effort to establish nursing in an institution of higher education. And we celebrate his vision and action daily. Beard was passionate, and he was a passionate advocate for the advancement of nursing. He did this believing that educating nurses, rather than training them as had been the practice, would help society recognize the worth of human life, would help society conserve human health, and would help society provide for social justice. Beard's pioneering advocacy was espoused as educating the spirit of nurses. We thank Beard, and we thank every person that's followed him. We have been honored to serve individuals, families, communities, and organizations. We have been honored to create advancements, initiatives, and innovations in nursing and health that continue to radiate from this phenomenal land-grant institution of higher education. And they radiate from the partnerships that we have with systems, societies, and our planet. Our alumni have and continue to lead the way. In addition to commemorating this 110th birthday, we are celebrating another one. We are celebrating the 10th year anniversary of the first graduates of our Doctor of Nursing Practice program. Yeah, it's a big deal. I love that. Wow, did you all hear it? 31 students from 6 states made up our inaugural DNP class. It was one of the very first in the nation. Our DNP program would quickly become the largest full-time enrollment program in the country. There's more. Our nurse anesthesia, our nurse midwifery, health innovation and leadership, and nursing informatics specialties were the first in the country to be approved as DNP program specialties. And today, we are still the only DNP program in the nation to offer a specialty in integrative health and healing. Class of 2019, you inherit this legacy. The legacy of all these accomplishments, of what it means to be a bold leader and to create firsts. But you inherit something else. You inherit a legacy of being a member of the most trusted profession. As a graduate from this University of Minnesota School of Nursing, your potential is boundless. So on behalf of the University of Minnesota and the faculty and staff of our school, we share sincere congratulations on earning your degree. We are tremendously proud. We celebrate all you have achieved, and we're even more excited about watching the steps in the days ahead as you share your accomplishments with Minnesota and the world. I have the honor at this time to welcome Robert Mcmaster, representing the Provost's office, to the podium. I'll share a few things about Bob. Bob is a professor of geography and vice provost and dean of undergraduate education at our university. He received a BA from Syracuse University and a PhD in geography and meteorology from the University of Kansas. Prior to coming to Minnesota, he held appointments at UCLA and also Syracuse. He has taught undergraduate and graduate courses in cardiography, geographic information science and systems, spatial analysis, quantitative methods, physical geography, and he's done this for nearly 25 years. His research interests are fascinating. They include automated generalization, environmental risk assessment, geographic information science and society, and the history of U.S. academic cardiography. Recently, he completed a 5-year National Science Foundation funded project that focused on the development of a national historical graphical information system. Please join me in welcoming Vice Provost Robert Mcmaster.
Dean Galina, members of the nursing faculty, and distinguished guests, I'm honored and delighted to be with all of you here this afternoon with all of you to join in celebrating the successes of our outstanding nursing students. On behalf of the Office of the Provost, I begin by saying congratulations, class of 2019. Our School of Nursing, as Dean Delaney noted, the oldest nursing school in the country attached to a university, has some of the very best and brightest students at the University of Minnesota. You have studied at a highly selective college and have completed an extremely demanding curriculum. The fact that you are here today tells me that you have met these challenges and are ready to enter our healthcare profession as one of the very best. Thus, we are here to celebrate not only your academic accomplishments, but also your potential to make a positive difference in the professional world that you now enter. It is a world that literally holds keys to life and the quality of life for our Minnesota community, the nation, and our increasingly connected planet. On a personal note, I feel a strong connection to nursing. In around 1905, 4 sisters, all nurses, came over from Southern Ireland to work in the New York City area. One of these was my grandmother, who spent her career as a pediatric nurse in New York. I was extremely fond of this grandmother and actually named my first daughter after her, Louise. So here's my free advice for you today. You shouldn't be really taking advice from a geographer, but I'll give it to you anyway. Her treatment for a teething baby was just a bit of whiskey on the gums. It helped with their sleep as well. Nurses play an absolutely critical role in the health profession. You will help complete strangers live healthier lives. You will lead research that will influence healthcare outcomes across the nation and around the world. You will help educate patients, their families, and communities about health conditions and various diseases. You will advocate for patient rights. You will speak with sensitivity, and you will listen with humility. You will be part of or directly affect some of the most private and sacred and profound moments of a person's life. As you know, the role of nurses has evolved rapidly during the past few decades, due in large part to the changing demands of our healthcare system. In addition to caring for the sick, today's nurses are tasked with a number of new responsibilities, from operating complex medical technology equipment to monitoring the regulatory landscape, from addressing healthcare policy to publishing scientific research, from speaking at public health forums to conducting virtual healthcare visits. Advanced nursing education is making it possible for nurses to be not just great caregivers, but great innovators and partners on interdisciplinary healthcare teams. So whether you choose a clinical, administrative, educational, or research path as graduates of the University of Minnesota's highly ranked School of Nursing, you're equipped with the knowledge and skills that are necessary to be leaders in the field. Your ability to understand, appreciate, and emphasize with individuals from cultures other than your own is equally as important. As the U.S. and Minnesota populations become increasingly diverse, your awareness of the elements that contribute to a person's health and well-being will significantly impact the effectiveness of patient care. Diversity and inclusion are integral today to academic excellence. And the great news, as a recipient of the 2016, 17, and 18 Health Professions Higher Education Excellence and Diversity Award, it is clear that our School of Nursing demonstrates an outstanding commitment to diversity and inclusion and has enriched your training and prepared you to succeed in our very diverse world. We're extremely fortunate that you decided to spend the critical period of your life with us at the University of Minnesota, and our hope is that we lived up to your expectations as an institution. We're confident that your time at the University of Minnesota will enable a richer and more rewarding life, a more fulfilling life, whatever path in nursing you choose. So I truly wish you the best, and congratulations.
I want to thank you, Bob. I want to thank you for being a true partner. The School of Nursing within this university, within the breadth of our system, the state of Minnesota and beyond. I want to thank you also for recognizing our commitment to diversity. I now am honored to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Samuel Myers. Sam Myers studies the human health impacts of accelerating disruptions to Earth's natural systems, a field that's recently been dubbed planetary health. He is a principal research scientist at the Harvard T.H. School of Public Health and is director of the Planetary Health Alliance, of which the School of Nursing is a member. As the director of the Planetary Health Alliance, Sam oversees a multi-institutional effort to support research, education, and policy efforts around the world that are all focused on understanding and quantifying the human health impacts of disrupting Earth's natural systems and somehow translating that impact into understandable resource management decisions, local to global. Dr. Myers serves as a commissioner on the Lancet Rockefeller Foundation Commission on Planetary Health. He's a member of the lead expert group of the Global Panel on Agriculture, Food Systems, and Nutrition. He was the inaugural recipient of the Aero Global Food Innovation Award in 2018. And he's also been awarded the Prince Albert II of Monaco Institut Pasteur Award for research at the interface of global environmental change and human health. Sam received his BA from Harvard College, his MD from Yale University School of Medicine, and his master's in public health from the Harvard Chan School of Public Health. He is board certified in internal medicine. Graduates of the class of 2019, please join in welcoming Sam Myers.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dean Delaney, and greetings to faculty, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, to today's 124 graduates of the Bachelor of Nursing Science program, 83 graduates of the Doctor of Nursing Practice program, 4 postgraduate certificate graduates, and 5 graduates of the PhD program. Congratulations. This moment is a celebration of both continuity and change. This year marks, as you've heard, the 110th anniversary of our nation's oldest continuously operated university-based School of Nursing, an extraordinary achievement of continuity. But it's also a moment of change, a threshold moment for each one of you. And not only is it a moment of personal change, but it coincides with the fastest period of change in the history of your school. Indeed, the fastest moment of change in the history of humanity. Dean Delaney asked me to speak with you about the rapidly emerging field of planetary health. Planetary health is the study of how humanity's accelerating disruption and degradation of our planet's natural systems is causing an urgent global health crisis around the world. It has, I have to admit, some fairly apocalyptic undertones. Now, like any well-educated person asked to undertake a momentous task, I immediately Googled how to give a commencement address. The main takeaway was be light and funny. So this may be one of the worst commencement addresses ever given. But I want to start by asking, what is the meaning of this particular moment? What is, in Martin Luther King's words, the fierce urgency of now? In fact, this isn't an easy moment for us to wrap our heads around. Viewed through one lens, things have never been better for all humanity. Steven Pinker, a professor at Harvard, is well known for promoting his very credible thesis that there's never been a better time to be a human being. Some of you will know his books, The Better Angels of Our Nature, Enlightenment Now, among others. Pinker points to global trends in human development and celebrates extraordinary improvements that have occurred over just the past 60 years. Between 1950 and 2014, the number of adults around the world who could read and write climbed from 36% to 85%. In 1950, there were 1.8 billion people living in extreme poverty and only 708 million people not in extreme poverty. By 2015, there were 705 million people living in extreme poverty and 6.6 billion people not in extreme poverty. In other words, in 65 years, we went from 72% of the world's population living in extreme poverty to 10%, despite nearly tripling the global population. In 1950, global life expectancy was 47 years old. 55 years later, it was 69. And during that same period, child mortality dropped from 214 child deaths per 1,000 to 59. So these are truly stunning achievements across the globe over such a short period, and they support Pinker's assertion that there's never been a better time to be a human being. But there's a darker side to the moment that we're in. Exactly 2 months ago, on March 17th, a male Cuvier's beaked whale washed up in the Philippines dead. It was still immature, and wondering what could have killed such a magnificent creature with a normal lifespan of 60 years, scientists performed a necropsy. Inside the whale's stomach and intestines, they found 88 pounds of plastic garbage. The New York Times informs us that we now dump 10 million metric tons of plastic into the oceans each year. The same extraordinary scientific and technological developments that have pulled humanity out of poverty, increased our life expectancies, and driven unprecedented gains in human development in less than one person's lifetime are also fueling an almost unimaginable ballooning of humanity's ecological footprint. Will Steffen and his colleagues have described the moment that we're in as the Great Acceleration. Since 1950, our appetite for natural resources and our consequent impacts on our planet's natural systems have been growing almost exponentially. In order to feed ourselves, we've converted 40% of Earth's land surface for croplands and pasture. We appropriate about half the accessible fresh water on the planet, mostly to irrigate our crops. We fish 90% of monitored fisheries at, or well beyond, maximum sustainable yields. In the process, we've cut down about half the temperate and tropical forests in the world and dammed over 60% of the world's rivers. Our wastes spill into the air, water, and soil, and the global pollution crisis is now responsible for the deaths of 9 million people each year. Human beings are crowding out the rest of life on our planet. Last week, 145 authors from 50 countries released the Global Assessment of the Intergovernmental Panel on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services. After reviewing 15,000 articles over 3 years, they concluded that roughly 1 million species now face extinction, many within decades. Already, we've reduced the population sizes of mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fishes by more than 50% since 1970. So this is the darker side of the moment that we're in. The extraordinary gains that Pinker celebrates are carried forth on the groaning back of a crumbling biosphere. But how does all of this relate to each one of you? It relates because the ecological crisis that I'm describing is precipitating a human health crisis. By the end of this century, the majority of the global burden of disability and death will be caused by the steady erosion of our planet's natural systems. This is what the emerging field of planetary health is teaching us. In my own research, I've shown that rising concentrations of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere are making our food less nutritious and threatening hundreds of millions of people with nutrient deficiencies. We found that declines in bees and other insect pollinators may cause over 1 million excess deaths each year because of lower yields of foods that are important in preventing heart disease, stroke, certain cancers, and diabetes. We're exploring how ocean warming and acidification will alter the distribution and size of fisheries around the world, and how those changes will impact consumption of fish and ultimately brain development, growth, vision, ability to fight infections, and mortality around the world. Other research highlights how changes in environmental conditions are altering our exposure to infectious diseases, reducing food production and threatening nutrition, increasing the risks of non-communicable diseases, creating mental health burdens, and even driving migration and conflict as parts of the world become uninhabitable. Nearly every dimension of human health and well-being is at risk. We cannot continue our current trajectory. The costs, in both environmental and human health terms, are too steep. We need to start by acknowledging the scale of the challenge we face. Our house is on fire. Our natural systems are starting to crumble around us. The climate system, our oceans, terrestrial ecosystems, and the biodiversity that inhabits them. And we are in peril. There is an urgency to acknowledging our predicament and taking action to get back on track. Because these problems, despite their size, can be solved. There's no reason why our children's children can't live in a world where human population has stabilized as a natural result of educating girls, creating economic opportunities for women, and providing access to family planning for couples who want it. A world where people are living mostly in cities designed to minimize our ecological impacts and maximize our health and well-being, where both food and manufactured goods are produced with much greater efficiency, where energy comes from renewable, carbon-neutral sources, where every passing decade brings more, not less, breathing room for the rest of the biosphere. If one single message emerges from the field of planetary health, it is that this moment we are in, as you stand on the threshold of your careers, is a moment of immense opportunity with everything at stake. Yes, our house is on fire, but each one of you has a bucket, and now is the time to roll up our sleeves and get to work changing the world. Almost everywhere we look, there are opportunities to make a real difference. The world needs your help, rethinking what we eat, how we produce it, and how we avoid wasting it. It needs your help thinking about how we design our cities to encourage active transport like walking and biking, and green spaces that improve mental health, reduce heat exposure, and bring community together. It needs your help advocating for clean sources of energy that reduce air pollution and don't disrupt our climate. It needs you to advocate for green chemistry and circular economies that dramatically reduce exposure to toxic chemicals and waste streams. It needs you involved in the political process, electing leaders and promoting policies that are consistent with a hopeful future. Within every dimension of global society, there are opportunities to be more efficient in our use of resources, more equitable in how resources are distributed, and more careful with the only habitable planet we know. This is the great challenge of our lifetimes. This is the fierce urgency of now. And the world is beginning to wake up to the moment we're in. Here in the United States, the Sunrise Movement is bringing together young people to demand aggressive action on climate change and support the Green New Deal. Across the world, children are walking out of schools to protest the fact that their schools are preparing them for a future that their governments are doing far too little to preserve. Our food system is experiencing a revolution with precision agriculture, robotics, and artificial intelligence, dramatically improving the efficiency with which we produce food. Supermarket chains around the world are taking on food waste with enormous gains in a very short period. In Chile's capital city, a biofactory has been installed that's turning sewage into energy, clean water, and fertilizers, and the whole system is producing more energy than it is using and providing water and fertilizers for surrounding farms. Cities like Copenhagen aspire to be carbon neutral in the next 6 years and are making huge innovations in public transport and infrastructure that supports walking and biking, green space, and smart waste management. Food systems, natural resource management, urban design, energy production, manufacturing. These are not the traditional domain of nurses and other healthcare practitioners, but arguably they're the only things that matter in the long run if we are to have a population whose health we can care for. Addressing planetary health will require breaking down silos, moving upstream in our thinking, and collaborating across disciplines to help deliver a sustainable society. There's no other option. And who better to lead the charge than nurses? When a code red is called in the hospital, it is almost always you who are the first responders, who identify the crisis, diagnose the situation, come together in teams, and ensure that each member is doing their part and that the parts are choreographed into an effective, cohesive whole. Now our planet is in code red. Fluent in science, dedicated to the care of others, and trained to work collaboratively in large teams, you could be critical agents of change for planetary health. You are also, as you've heard, our most trusted messengers. 2019 marked the 17th year in a row that nurses topped the chart for most trusted professionals in the United States. And you're the second most trusted profession globally, after, ironically, firefighters. We'll need both. Recently, the Planetary Health Alliance launched its Clinicians for Planetary Health initiative, and I invite you all to join us in that effort. Here at the University of Minnesota, under Dean Delaney's leadership and that of so many others, you have done as much to promote a cross-disciplinary program in planetary health as any university in the world. And I know you're just getting started. You should all be so proud of these trailblazing efforts. They're so important. On April 4th, in 1967, in his speech, A Time to Break the Silence, Martin Luther King observed, quote, "We are now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. We're confronted with the fierce urgency of now. In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such a thing as being too late. This is no time for apathy or complacency. This is a time for vigorous and positive action," unquote. Today's fierce urgency of now is a biosphere crumbling under our neglect and a growing awakening that our life support systems are starting to fail along with it. Let us join hands, find each other in community, and lead the way in that vigorous and positive action. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. we celebrate, as you noted, being the most trusted profession. Our school and this university and nursing also has the moral courage to be part of the solution. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce our two student speakers, Emily Galina, Mary Whipple. Emily is representing the BSN graduates today. She grew up in southeastern Europe. She grew up in the wake of the Balkan Wars and has always been fascinated with the healing capabilities of the human body. Emily's passion lies in the intersection of health, language, and culture. Following graduation, she will spend 3 months completing an herbal medicine internship on a farm in Oregon. She is pursuing her interest in the many ways our health is impacted by the world around us. After completing that internship, she'll return to work as a nurse here in the Twin Cities. Following Emily, you will hear from Mary Whipple. Mary is representing the doctoral students. She is completing her PhD with us after earning a Bachelor of Arts in Biology and Psychology from Luther College in Decorah, Iowa. Like many of our graduates today, Mary earned her BSN on our Rochester campus. And like many who choose nursing as their profession and commitment, Mary's decision to become a nurse was fueled by personal experience, and her research has been inspired and focused on work with older adults with chronic conditions, especially diabetes and cardiovascular disease. This fall, Mary will start a postdoctoral fellowship that focuses on the physiology of aging. She will do this at the School of Medicine at the University of Colorado, the Denver campus. At this time, I invite Emily to the podium, and she'll be followed by Mary.
Thank you, Dean Delaney, and thank you to all of my peers and faculty for really propelling me towards this moment to be standing up here in front of you today. What an absolute honor it is. Wow, we're here. We made it. Congratulations, everyone. Welcome to faculty, staff, guests, and graduates. We all know that the degree we hold today is one that encompasses far more than technical skill. It's a degree that encompasses attitudes and knowledge that are the result of our touch with humanity in a really raw sense. I'm sure a lot of us would say that 4 years ago we didn't really know what nursing meant. There's a real grittiness to nursing, waking up crusty-eyed for those 12-hour shifts, or the all-too-familiar smell of C. diff, and the inexplicable heaviness that hangs in the room after patients just learn they've been diagnosed with cancer. As my friends and family can attest, I'll be the first to admit that it's tough and it's dirty. And in those moments of uncertainty, there's a self-doubt that loves to creep in and just threatens to knock you down. Yet, we're all here, better people than when we began this unfamiliar path, I have no doubt. And I know this because more than anything, more than smarts and intelligence, nursing school has taken commitment. It's taken commitment to stand tall within the tension that arises from holding in conjunction both intense fulfillment at having cared for people in their moments of greatest vulnerability, and also heavy pain that we've all encountered. It's taken commitment to persist within the grittiness and self-doubt that is all we can see some days. But most of all, it's taken commitment to self-cultivation as a caring individual in a field often rife with difficulties. Choosing how you'll conduct yourself each time you cross the threshold of a patient's room into unpredictable and sometimes hostile territory. I have been baffled and humbled by the persistence you've all shown when faced with your own personal hardships, illnesses, and struggles in the midst of nursing school. We've all had our fair share of cries on the Weaver-Densford Plaza when we just don't understand how we'll possibly fit all of our clinical hours into our schedule, or that panic that strikes when you just absolutely bomb a test. Yet you've all shown up repeatedly for me and for each other, extending grace in those very moments to push through to this very moment. So while a lot of us might say that we're not so sure we should be allowed to strike out on our own as nurses, I want to remind you that innovation is the backbone of progress. So I stand up here with so much hope for the future of nursing, because nursing is a field that needs innovation and needs people who are willing to take risks and question the status quo. Innovation is needed to transform the brokenness we've all witnessed so intimately. But in those dark moments, when the brokenness has left me wondering where there's light, you've all shown it to me in the passion you exhibit, in the hours you've poured research into, and in the questions you ask of yourselves and of each other. Questions of how are we going to do better? And I've come to learn that nursing offers space for creativity in answering those questions, a creativity really arising from diversity of perspective. And I've seen the variety of personalities and strengths in this cohort that are displayed so proudly. So I believe wholeheartedly, in fact, I know wholeheartedly, that we're a group of people primed and ready to use our individuality collectively to contribute to nursing in really unprecedented ways. Ooh, I'm getting emotional. I've been really constantly inspired and invigorated by the freshness that we bring through our differences, through our persistence, and through the profound care that infuses what we do. We face a future both wholly uncertain and also bright with possibility. So as I close today, instead of offering you a quote by some great thinker, I want to prod you in recognizing that you all hold so many words within each of you that the world needs to hear, because we've made it to this moment for a reason, because we are capable, because we can do it, and because we bring value to this field. Please be inspired by your own accomplishments today that are indeed worthy of awe. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Delaney, for your introduction. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all the family, friends, faculty, staff, and fellow students joining us today for this wonderful celebration. I am thrilled and honored to have the opportunity to share a few remarks with you this afternoon on behalf of the Spring 2019 doctoral graduates, both the Doctor of Nursing Practice, or DNP, and the Doctor of Philosophy, PhD. Today is the culmination of years of hard work for all of us. Countless hours spent studying, writing, and in clinical rotations, so that at times it was hard to see, or perhaps even believe that there was, a light at the end of the tunnel. But we did it. I am so proud to be a part of this amazing scholarly community. As Dean Delaney said, I have been lucky to receive both my BSN on the Rochester campus and soon my PhD from the University of Minnesota School of Nursing. My experiences at the University of Minnesota, and specifically in the doctoral program, have been absolutely transformative. As is natural in a doctoral program, I think there were times when many of us may have felt like we were not good enough, strong enough, or smart enough. I certainly have. But here we are. The school did not make a mistake. We are not all imposters, although it certainly felt that way at times. And with the support of trusted advisors, mentors, family, and friends, we have made it. As Dean Delaney also mentioned in my introduction, I, like many of you, came to nursing as a profession from personal experience. Violet, my grandmother, was a fiercely independent woman, but when a fall and the effects of several chronic conditions ultimately took that independence, her life and ours were permanently altered. She is my inspiration and one of the reasons I am committed to working with older adults. As graduates, we are now a part of the school's incredible legacy. As you have already heard, this month, the school celebrated its 110th anniversary. In 2009, when the school celebrated its centennial, 100 alumni of the School of Nursing were recognized for their extraordinary roles in advancing the field of nursing, locally and internationally, and the profound impact they have had on the nursing profession. As part of a course I took while I was a BSN student, I had the opportunity to interview one of these honorees who graduated from the school more than 60 years ago. And I heard of the incredible impact her training at the University of Minnesota had on her life and practice. Now, as a PhD student, I have had the privilege of learning from and working with several of these remarkable nurses. As we begin our new roles as advanced practice nurses, administrators, researchers, and faculty, we have a duty to give our best to the profession and the people we serve. We are following in truly incredible footsteps, and what an honor it is. In closing, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the many people who have been with me and with all of us throughout this journey. First, to all the family and friends who have joined us today and throughout our journeys, and particularly my parents, Al and Jennifer. Thank you for sticking with me and with us throughout this process. There were many long shifts, late nights, papers, and projects, and we are so appreciative of your support. Today is also a celebration of you, of your support, love, compassion, and frequent reminders to us of why we embarked on the journey to obtain a doctoral degree in the first place, especially in the overwhelming moments, hours, days along the way. We did not achieve our degrees in isolation, and we are so grateful to each of you. Attaining a doctoral degree is a significant undertaking, and the people we encounter throughout our training truly shape the clinicians, leaders, and scientists we become. To the incredible faculty and staff of the School of Nursing, our steadfast advisors and mentors throughout this process, thank you. The process of obtaining a doctoral degree is truly transformative, both professionally and personally. You have seen us through life-changing transitions, the loss of family and friends, and you have joined us in celebrating new relationships and new life. You have been trusted counselors and guides throughout this journey, supporting us as we embraced greater independence in our scholarly projects and dissertations. Thank you for lighting the way and modeling the nurse leaders we strive to become. And finally, to my colleagues in the DNP and PhD programs, both those graduating today and those who are continuing work on their degrees, thank you. As we all know, this is an incredible, challenging, transformative journey, and we could not have done it without each other. And the learning certainly does not end here. In fact, it is truly only just beginning. Nurse scientists and clinicians have been at the leading edge of improving health for many years, and the University of Minnesota School of Nursing has prepared us to continue this important work. Your dedication is inspiring, and I am convinced that you will make an incredible impact on our profession and our collective mission. Thank you, and congratulations to all of today's graduates.
Emily, I'd like to thank you for celebrating and having the courage to talk about the intimacy of this magnificent profession we're a part of. And also lifting up that each one of us is meant to be here now for a reason. Mary, we always celebrate your celebration and linkage of the historical flow of not only the school but nursing, how it impacts your thinking today and how it impacts your future impact. We celebrate you. It's now my privilege to introduce the University of Minnesota Nursing Alumni Society president. Sheryl Ramstad spent 17 years in the legal profession as a trial lawyer. She served as Assistant United States Attorney, Judge, and Minnesota Commissioner of Corrections. In 2012, she joined the School of Nursing's Master of Nursing program and is also a member of Sigma Theta Tau International Nursing Honor Society. Cheryl followed her MN, Professional Master's in Nursing degree, by earning a Doctorate of Nursing Practice in Health Innovation and Leadership, also at the University of Minnesota. She walked across this very stage just about 2 years ago. Today, she is a respected leader in healthcare, and we are honored by her incredible service to our school and to this university. Please join me in welcoming Sheryl Ramstad.
Thank you, Dean Delaney, and good afternoon to all of you. As president of the School of Nursing Alumni Society Board, it is truly my honor and privilege to stand before you today and offer congratulations from the Alumni Society. The board was created in 1913, and its longevity is a testament to the strength of our nursing graduates. It is in this spirit of lifelong learning, recognition of your current achievements, and hope for many future contributions to the nursing profession that the School of Nursing Alumni Society is pleased to welcome you as our newest alumni. The School of Nursing Alumni Society is pleased to present each of the pre-licensure graduates with the University of Minnesota School of Nursing pin, made possible with donations from the Nursing Annual Fund. The pinning ceremony is a nursing tradition that goes back to 1913, when new nurses are presented the school's pins by the faculty. It represents a symbolic welcoming of new graduates into the nursing profession. The School of Nursing pin has been given to all initial licensure University of Minnesota nursing graduates since 1913. You can learn more about the School of Nursing pin symbols in your commencement program. And to our doctoral graduates, we present to you a University of Minnesota engraved business card holder to celebrate your professional achievements. May you use the card holder with great pride. Moving forward, we invite all of you to stay engaged with the University of Minnesota community. Come back to campus, serve as a mentor, become a preceptor, and attend our annual reunion next April. Please stay connected with the School of Nursing via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And be sure to let us know where you are and what you are doing. We're proud of you, and we want you to be a part of our community of alums. As our newest graduates, you represent both the future of nursing and the School of Nursing's legacy. Graduates, you make us very proud. Congratulations.
Cheryl, we very much thank you for reminding us we are always a family. The Honorable Kendall J. Powell is Vice Chair of the University of Minnesota Board of Regents. He is the former Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of General Mills. Regent Powell spent more than a third of his career overseas and served a variety of positions at General Mills upon joining it in 1979. He serves on the Board of Directors for Medtronic, the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis, and Partners in Food Solutions, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping startup food companies in Africa. Regent Powell received his Bachelor of Arts degree in biology from Harvard and his MBA from Stanford University. He lives in Golden Valley, and his wife and 2 adult daughters together all are proud to have degrees from the University of Minnesota. Please join me, Ken.
Dean Delaney, family members, distinguished guests, graduate, it is a great honor to be here with you today. It is inspiring and it's moving to stand with you as you emerge from the University of Minnesota, ready to provide the care that so many of us will need. And let's face it, at some point, nearly everyone in this room, we will put our care in your hands. So It is moving to recognize you and also to know that you're going to provide knowledgeable and informed leadership in healthcare over your lives. So as you've heard so many times today, to all of you, we are here today not just to celebrate your academic accomplishments. This really is a day to celebrate your bright and your shining potential, all the good you'll do, and the big positive difference that each of you will make in this world. So on behalf of every member of the Board of Regents, I offer you the warmest congratulations and best wishes to each and every one of you.
Will all of the graduates please rise? Regent Paul, on behalf of the faculty of this School of Nursing, I present to you these candidates as having completed the requirements for their respective programs: the Bachelor of Science in Nursing, the Doctor of Nursing Practice, postgraduate certificates, and the Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the University of Minnesota Board of Regents, I now confer upon you the degree for which you qualify.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very, very much. We celebrate you being with us today, Ken, and celebrating the distinguished service that these graduates will bring to Minnesota and the world. At this time, I would like to ask the Bachelor of Science grads to stay standing. The rest can be seated. And I invite Dr. Carol Flotten, Director of our pre-licensure programs, and Elaine Dars, Program Co-Director, along with Sheryl Ramstad, who will give graduates their nursing pins, while Associate Dean for Academic Programs, Christine Miller, reads the names of our graduates.
Emily Adamich. Ariane Albert. Muna Alamir. Kiera Anderson. Adelie Batches. Whitney Behrens. Julia Byer. Kaylee Ball. Hannah Brumand. Kate Bush. Grace Kamilari. Megan Kavanaugh. Caitlin Champa. Gabriella Chardon. Sydney Chung. Jack Christensen. Sarah Cornforth. Alyssa Cosette. Alicia Cole. Grace Deho. Catherine Dufresne. Ashley Eaton. Aaron Edson. Jenna Ertman. Shania Fillerout. Maureen Fisher. Fiona Forbes. Casey Fewer. Emily Galina. Abigail Gallus. Elise Gannon. Julie Garvin. Alexandra Gieske. Jenna Gangroth. Joseph Grimm. Mary Gruce. Michaela Heidecker. Brittany Heiser. Lauren Heskin. Mairead May Hess. Amy Halleck. Justin Inglett. Allie Jeffords. Emily Johnson. Melissa Johnson. Rachel Conkey. Christine Cow. Sarah Karp. Melissa Kuhlman. Chelsea Labar. Lindsay Landy. Hannah Lee. Brian Lee. Andrew Lindeman. Juan Lopez. Sophie Lutz. Karina Mackey. Kara Malone. Riley McGovern. Molly McCowan. Alan Medina. Molly Miller. Sarah Miller. Hope Morrison. Madeline Mrosek. Madison Knoxheim. Luana Newmock. Jessica Newman. Hao Win. Christina Nizari. Joshua Novinger. Faith Nyamawa. Haley Palick. Katie Paulzine. Madison Petty. Jennifer Pham. Rachel Pope. Jenna Primus. John Rasmussen. Anna Ribbons. Chelsea Romanek. Rosa Ruiz Mendez. Aaron Russell. Andrew Sofsted. Nijani Sandquist. Logan Sanford. McKenna Sartwell. Maddie Schnettler. Samantha Schreck. Kayla Schroeder. Caitlin Schroeder. Stephanie Shiro. Morgan Simons. Matthew Singer. Alexander Slater. Rebecca Starr. Lauren Starkson. Kristen Stomberg. Nicole Sun. Allison Tarara. Brianne Temple. Carly Thompson. Riley Tuzeno. Jenna Tracy. Mara Trudgeon. Casey Tuff. Veronica Turturillo. Hannah Vaught. Megan Viota. Shahan Vuvan. Brandon West. Catherine Williams. Tara Wilson. Muna Yusuf. Abigail Zerfus. Now we invite our postgraduate certificate graduate to come forward. Colleen Quesnell. Now we invite the Doctor of Nursing Practice graduates to come forward. Every one of our D&P graduates identifies a healthcare practice challenge or policy issue and implements and evaluates a significant scholarly plan for systematic improvements in a healthcare organization. The title of their projects are listed after each graduate's name in your commencement program. One deviation from the program, our nurse midwifery graduates will be read first before returning to the order that is printed. The D&P graduates will have their doctoral hoods placed over their graduation gowns. The hooding will be performed by Dr. Judith Pakachik, Director of the Doctor of Nursing Practice program, and she will be assisted by the faculty coordinator for that special D&P specialty. The Postmaster's D&P graduates will be hooded by their project advisor. The following are those who are in the nurse midwifery specialty. They'll be hooded by Dr. Melissa Avery. Ashley Garretts. Sarah Jennerjohn. Brigida Kyler. Taylor LaChapelle. Ricky McAllister. Matthew Petkoff. Sarah Rose. Megan Thompson. Allison Welly. The next student has completed the Adult Gerontological Clinical Nurse Specialist specialty and will be hooded by Dr. Sheila Smith. Brandy Kozitsa. The following students have completed the Adult Gerontological Primary Care Nurse Practitioner specialty, also hooded by Dr. Sheila Smith. Megan Batista. Hannah Burhani. Jennifer Braun. Jessica Fisher. Stephanie Grove. Kelsey Heffling. Abdi Ibrahim. Kristen Matulis. Mackenzie McLean. Gertrude Araki. Alyssa Poole. Angela Score. Manisha Shah. Lauren Velan. Yvonne Worsey. The following students have completed the Family Nurse Practitioner specialty, and they are hooded by Dr. Mary Benbenek. Myra Kolakovic. Anna Dudzik. Venetia Gordon King. Lindsay Kappa. Hope Martinez. Kelsey Middlestead. Kirsten Norby. Deanna Notaro. Jessica Phelps. Kelsey Rogers Corrigan. Rachel Stanek. Following students have completed the Health Innovation and Leadership specialty, and they are hooded by Dr. Teddy Potter. Students in this specialty also complete the requirements for the Healthcare Design and Innovation Certificate. Anna Burke. Sarah Held. Laura Kane. Rachel Kerr. Travis Moore. Brian Polkey. B. Yang. The next student has completed the Integrative Health and Healing Specialist and is hooded by Dr. Debbie Ringdahl. Rosalind Espinizo. The following students have completed the Nurse Anesthesia Specialty, and they are hooded by Dr. Dan Lovinaria. Alana Birchman. Michelle Fossen. Danica Gardner. Megan Grill. Ashley Hendricks. Kevin Locke. Sunitha Murphy. Weston Poucher. Jennifer Richmond. Adam Sakitab Karestis. Peter Shenstead. Chantel Spile. Following students have completed the Nursing Informatics specialty, and they are hooded by Dr. Karen Monson. Irene Ouma. Catherine Weber. The next student has completed the Pediatric Clinical Nurse Specialist specialty and is hooded by Dr. Casey Hook and Dr. Sherry Friedrich. Brianna Baum. The following students have completed the Pediatric Primary Care Nurse Practitioner specialty, and they're hooded by Dr. Sherry Friedrich. Megan Antelik. Samantha Larson. Elizabeth Palmquist. Natalie Raker. Catherine Robbins. The following students have completed the Psychiatric Mental Health Nurse Practitioner specialty, and they're hooded by Dr. Barbara Peterson. Jennifer Babcock. Jenna Birenzen. Brittany Burns. Sam Pon. Danielle Mella Dolan. Angela Melland. Catherine Pearson. Nicole Peloso. Alexandra Pokornsey. Marquita Trimnell. Kristen Verherhoven. The following students have completed the Women's Health Nurse Practitioner specialty, and they will be hooded by Dr. Diana Drake. Madeline Carlin. Kaylee Milan. Hannah Middlebrook. Brianna Murphy. Kathleen Rosenthal. Finally, I invite the Doctor of Philosophy and Nursing graduates to please come forward. These PhD graduates will have their doctoral hoods placed over their gowns by their dissertation advisor and Donna Bliss, director of the PhD program. The titles of their dissertations are listed in the program. Lindsay Anderson, who will be hooded by Dr. Donna Bliss and Dr. Renee Sieving. Melinda Bors, hooded by Dr. Donna Bliss and Dr. Ruth Lindquist. Mary Whipple, hooded by Dr. Treat Jacobson and Dr. Erica Shore. Ian Wolf, hooded by Dr. Donna Bliss and Dr. Joan Liashenko.
Please join all of us in congratulating these magnificent graduates. To close our ceremony, we ask that those who are able to stand and join in the singing of Hail Minnesota. The words are found on the inside cover of your program. As you do that, please join me in thanking the Health Sciences Orchestra under the direction of musical director Stephen Ramsey. We ask that everyone remain seated until all of the graduates have exited the auditorium. And then we invite you to join us for a wonderful reception to celebrate these graduates in our lobby.